Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2024, we're coming for everything.
Everything.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Journey of Becoming Her. Today, I have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Today, I have Lebogang. I've known her since our high school years at Mudiwata High School, and it's such a pleasure to have her here. And I want her to introduce herself because I don't want to miss anything, okay? So, yeah.
Do you know what's the good thing about not seeing someone in a long time? Is that I remember, if not mistaken, the last time I saw you was 2017.
Yes.
And now the good thing is when we are meeting now, we have both accomplished, and it's like more of a beautiful recap.
Yes.
Hi guys,
beautiful.
My name is Lebogang Mashile. I'm 23 years of age. I'm a graduate.
And that's on pair.
Yes, I ended 2023 on a good note. A graduate, employed. So I've graduated in Bachelor of Accounting, and I also have my own charity foundation called Lebogang Mashile Charity Foundation, which was established in 2015. And we'll get into details about that. I've got 2 siblings, 2 elder brothers, very protective, by the way. And I love my mom. I'm a girl. I'm my mom's daughter. Very kind. I'm a giver. I love giving. Very kind. Love laughing. That's me.
Thank you so much, girl. I'm sure they're already in love with you because, wow. I love that you mentioned that you're a giver. We have a lot in common because we both have our kind of NGOs and stuff. I really love that. And I just want to commend you for that. You know, it's not easy doing these things. And also you've mentioned that you're a mom's daughter. Maybe like you would like to give us like a more background of how you grew up. What was it growing up? What is it that made you the person that you are today?
My mom, guys. I cannot really say she was strict, but she was. But then it got to a point where I kind of realized that her being strict was actually to benefit me at the end.
Yes.
So, like I said, I've got 2 elder brothers, and I'm the last born and the only girl. And I feel like that kind of made my mom to be a little bit more strict on me, having that.
Yes.
So it was not really tough. I honestly did not experience any hardships, but at the same time, my mom made it clear that, you know what, the fact that you have everything, please respect people who do not have something. Life is life. Life can humble you. You can grow up having everything, but you end up having nothing.
That's true.
So she was that kind of a mom that provided everything, and I'm very grateful for that. She provided everything, but also taught me, you know what, life can be this way. So don't live with that mindset that you will have everything forever. Pave your way, you will have everything, but also respect people that do not have anything.
Which is true.
So we are a Christian family. I grew up going to church. I'm still going to church even now, and it's been beautiful. One thing that I appreciate is the fact that she always emphasized Mudim in everything. In whatever that you do, include God, and I've seen how God works. And I'm so glad that even today I'm still holding on to that thing that she taught me.
That is beautiful.
She has been strict, but then, like I said, it got to a point where I made that decision myself to be the girl that I want to be, not be the girl who's always outside, doing things that
Yes.
So people often had that mind, oh no, Lebo was strict and stuff like that, but then not knowing that it's also a personal decision that I made, that I want to be this type of girl. And she always says to me, it's down to her but up to me. And it has really benefited me. I don't want to lie, like me having made that decision of being a disciplined girl, and it has really benefited me. We'll get into that.
I love that. That means like you grew into maturity already. I really love that. I'm getting a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I just want to break the ice a little bit before we get into like more deep stuff. So I just want to ask you, between books and podcasts, which one do you prefer, or which one are you more into, or none of the above? So you don't really
but I think podcast a bit, because I do listen to McG.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, that's
There are
good.
those people that you really want to hear what is the interview all about and
Okay.
stuff. So I'm not really an everyday girl.
Yeah.
I only go there if I saw, oh, okay, today in studio there
Yeah.
was this person.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't love reading. Funny how I don't like reading, but I used to be into poetry and
Oh,
stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. I don't love it. Like, same as movies. I can't do movies. Like,
You can't do.
especially alone.
So what do you do in your free time? Cheers on that. Okay.
Especially now that I'm working,
Mhm.
I feel like weekends for me are for girl sleep.
Okay.
Sleep, eat, sleep, do your laundry, sleep.
I didn't expect that from you. I don't know why. I expected more like, you know what, I read before I get out of bed, you know, and then before I sleep, you know, I'm
The
that
only
girl.
books that I'm interested in reading, academics.
Only.
When if I go for another degree,
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Okay.
Even now, like, I wouldn't mind going back and opening my taxation textbook. Those things are the ones that you post on your status.
That's not you. Okay.
And I feel like I'm more into pictures than reading a book. It's just black and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get that. You get lost. Yeah.
I get lost. I get bored. Yeah.
I get
Maybe
that.
if I will read it.
You're more of a visual person. Yeah, I do get that. So if right now you had to have an opportunity that's saying all expenses paid, you're going to a destination of your choice, where would you go?
Going to the Wassup. That will be great. Not an opportunity I wanted. If there's someone who's watching, I don't know. Mauritius, maybe, because that's where everybody's going. I also want to see what's in Mauritius.
Okay.
Yeah, Mauritius, Dubai.
I was about to ask, because like most of the people that I've interviewed on this channel, everyone is like Dubai. I'm like, why don't you want to go? Because like,
actually Nigeria. I love Nigeria.
Why Nigeria?
I want to see
But do you think if you go to Nigeria, you'd go to like those villages?
Yeah, but no, is it really true now? Because hey, I'm always wondering. Nigeria. I would love to go to Nigeria.
Okay.
Like, I want to see.
That's
Nigeria.
A twist.
Yes.
I'd actually like to go to Zambia. I'm more interested. Do you know in Zambia there is a tribe called Zulus or something? Bulus. They speak more or less Kilobedu, but twisted.
Okay.
So because we are Balozi, and they call them, is it Kilozu? Yeah, I think they call them Kilozu. They speak Kilobedu, but in a more twisted. I can hear them speak.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I feel like at some point I would want to go then find out like, where do you guys come from? True. Like, where do you guys come from? So you
People
should actually.
Read books. I'll start doing that. Thank you. My New Year resolution.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere. But yeah, okay. So now let's get more into the deep stuff. You know. So you mentioned that you have your charity organization. I feel like that's more where we can start, because you started when you were 20. When in 2015, you were like in grade 15. You were in grade 9. 9 to 10. Yes. I started like end of 2015. Yeah, you were very young. You were 15 years. What made you start a charity organization at that age?
Okay, so my mom, growing up, I knew my mom as someone who gives. Like, if she buys something and we have like an old one, we knew that we don't throw it away. If it's still in good condition, she would say, I'm gonna buy this, and that old one we're gonna give it to the neighbors or whoever needs it. Alright. So that thing kind of became like a norm. Something that we know that in my home, this is what we do. So she's a teacher, and her being an educator, like, she deals with a lot of kids that are, you know, going through challenges, you know, and most of the time she'll come back and say, Ish, there's this child who doesn't have this and that, and can you please look into your wardrobe and take out something that you don't need? So it became a norm. Okay, each time when I see that I don't need this anymore, I pack everything and I give it to her, and she'll give it to. And many a times where she'll like take pictures of the kids who'll be wearing those things. Like, those kids will literally wear those clothes on casual day and say, ma'am, look at what you gave me, you know. So that thing kind of gave us a motivation to continue doing those things. So it went on and went on until 2015. So in 2015, I don't know, I was still young. I was still young but matured. I
grew into maturity.
So when we got to 2015, we saw that it's the need to assist, it keeps on increasing, and we couldn't do it on our own anymore, because I could realize that some kids need school uniform, shoes, and etc., and it's very painful to do to one child and the other. So I decided to go into modeling. I entered my first pageant. I was still in boarding school, by the way.
Yes.
It was an academy. So what happened is, I don't know, I Googled everything while still there. And in December, when I came home, I was like, I'm going for this. That was Miss Mujaji pageant 2015.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going for this. My first ever pageant. I knew nothing about modeling. I had nothing. Then I told my mom, I was like, Ma, I'm going for this. She was like, what are you going to do? I literally, she was like, you know what, okay, go to town, go look for a dress. Like, it was a day before the event. Got to Legit, found this dress. I was like, I don't care. I don't care if it doesn't fit. I don't care if it doesn't sit properly. I'm going for it. So I got there, got the dress, couldn't find the bikini that they needed. I had to make a plan. I made a plan, couldn't walk on heels. I had to make a plan. And I really needed that. To show that I really needed that, I won the pageant.
Wow.
So
first pageant.
First pageant.
Wow.
So the day of the pageant, my mom accompanied me. We went there. She sat the whole day and she was like, you're going to get it. So my reason for going into modeling was that it was not really for the love of modeling, but I ended up falling in love with it. So my reason was that if I won the pageant, I would be able to raise funds. And me raising funds, it meant that we would increase in the number of the kids that we were able to help. Yes. So I entered that. I won the pageant. God answers, guys. God answers. God answers. It was a silent prayer that I made. I did not physically pray about it, but God knew my heart. God saw what is it that I wanted to do. So I won the pageant and I used it to gain publicity. I used it to gain sponsorship. And January, I won it in 2015 December. Don't remember the date exactly. In January, I was already running.
Because in January is the year, 2016 is the year you came to Mudubat, right?
Yes,
I think that's where
so I left boarding because I knew that if I was in boarding, I was not going to be able to do the projects that I wanted. I told my mom, I was like, you know what? I'm no longer going there because if I go back there,
you're not going to reach the target.
I was not going to reach the target. I felt like it was going to delay me. So,
how was that for you? I mean, at 15 years of age, going to 16, and you just have to reprimand yourself and also like have to be obedient to God's will as well, and just say, because back then, going to Northern Academy was a big achievement. Like, going to a boarding school,
you attended there,
like, exactly. we would see kids that go there and we're like, you know, and then like having to go to Mudubatse, like that is a big step. Like, how was that for you? How did you maneuver through that? How did you tell yourself that this is not a D grade, but this is God's will? And
it was really difficult. I remember the first day in Jan when school reopened, they were like, I don't know. For me, I feel like when God is for you, nobody can be against you. I knew that what I was doing, it was for God's will and it's what God had told me to do. So challenges came even before schools reopened. They were like, yo, she's no longer going back there. It means it means she failed the grade. Maybe she's afraid to go back there. You know, it was really it was a lot. But then the fact that I knew that God was in charge. When I got there, as much as there were groups of people talking, I met those 3 ladies, and when I met them, I knew that God had connected me to them. And they didn't say anything. Maybe they did say behind my back. I don't know, of which I don't believe they did. Because when I met them, everything just came together. They assisted into the charity. They were hands-on. And that for me, I knew, okay, this was my reason of God bringing me here. I remember my mom asking, are you sure? Are you sure?
I can imagine.
I don't mind. So if you want something, you really go for it. Despite what will people say, what will people do, you have to go for it. Because but people will always talk. Whether you do good, they'll talk. You do bad, they'll always see the bad in the good that you do. So you just have to do it. So it was not easy. But God came through for me. God was involved in everything. He gave me the strength that I needed to overcome people's words and everything that they were saying.
And you mentioned that when you got into modeling, it was not really like your priority or your first love or something. You like literally fell in love with it, and I love that. And looking back into how you had your own modeling pageant thing, Miss Gorgeous. Can you tell us more about that? How did you get into that? And
so everything about me, every event that I hosted, everything that I did was for charity. So I don't remember properly, but then I think it was end of 2016.
Yes, it was.
Where I hosted my first pageant. That was not for publicity. Okay, I can now host my own things, but I knew everything about me was raising funds for charity. So I was like, okay, if I host this thing, and I raised money for charity. So the main aim for my first pageant was I wanted to help as well. I wanted to reach out to more people, and I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. And I was like, you know what, there are also other people out there who are willing to give, but then they do not know how to do it. Let me do this. So I hosted the pageant, and I told my participants, or whoever is going to come through for the pageant, please bring a tin of canned food, you know, something that can be of help. And we raised a lot that year. So every single event that I hosted, for me, it was not for personal benefit, but then for me to raise funds and also be able to touch people and help other people who want to touch people, but then they don't know how to do it. Yeah, so people came through. Like the first pageant ever, I didn't know how to do it. I did it. God, that's what I'm saying. God has been involved in everything that I was doing. I got sponsorship for decor. This lady from church came and said, I'm gonna do everything for you. And I thought, you know, when people say they're gonna do everything for you and it's not on paper, I thought maybe she was gonna disappoint or something. I remember her calling me and saying, we are at the hall. And when I got there, people were already working. Day of the event, she attended. God was, and he still is even today, and I'm grateful for that. So, yeah, the first competition that I hosted, we raised canned food, groceries and stuff. And 2017, the second one, I love kids. I love kids, and for me, that year was dedicated to kids. So what made me to host the second annual Miss Gorgeous was that I wanted to touch kids. So what I did was I went to the hospital and, you know, saw how things were, and I was like, I want to come back again. I want to do something beautiful this time. Because the first time I went, it was just like a small thing. I went with a friend, and I saw that it's not nice in there, you know. You find that the child has been there like for a week, and they say no visitor came to see the child. You know, it's very painful. So with the second annual, which was hosted in 2017, I made sure that whoever was going to participate in the competition, they brought a teddy bear. So I knew that, okay, there'll be kids in there on Christmas Day, which parents do not come to visit. They're just in there, they're lonely. Let's do something, guys. And I raised teddy bears. I think there were about 50 something teddy bears that we raised. And yeah, we went and donated. It was a beautiful day. We'll share pictures.
Yes, we'll drop the pictures in here as the video is going on as well. That is very beautiful. I really love that. I think a lot of people out there, me included, when we see things, we don't really know the backstories, and we just see you doing something. Sometimes people that judge, it's because they don't know the real story. They don't know what is it that you're doing, or the reasons behind what you're doing. Only the people that are involved understand. And I feel like it's important to have these platforms as well to like share, because I've known you and I've seen Miss Gorgeous. I mean, I worked at Miss Gorgeous, but I really did not know the deeper part or the deeper story behind it, and this is just beautiful to hear. And yeah, we are happy and to have people like you, like in this world, you know. We need more people like you that, you know, see a problem and find the need and find the means to assist as well. So that is really beautiful. Now you're no longer into modeling.
I'm no longer into modeling. I left in 2018 when I was going to matric. I was like, yeah, I'm done. So yeah, matric, and, you know, having to, I was like, you know, really, yeah,
slow
but
down.
We still continued with projects after that. So I felt like maybe I had raised the kind of publicity that I wanted.
You needed,
gained it, and I didn't really see the need to be there anymore. Not that I hated or think something wrong about it. For me, it was for a specific time. And when the time came to an end, I was like, okay, what are you doing now?
That is, I feel like you're raising a very important time. Today I was actually listening to this other podcast by Lebo Wisdom and Wellness, and the guest was talking about like having to allow yourself to like moving on from seasons, because sometimes you cannot move to a new season while you're still stuck in the previous season, and allowing God to remove you, because sometimes we look at things with the physical eye and get, you know, in your sense, if you could have looked at how much you raised 50 something teddies and not let go of that point, not knowing that there is even like much and bigger and better things that are coming with a different approach even. So I feel like that is very important.
It's very important.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, now let's move more into other things. You know, you mentioned you're into accounting.
Hey,
you did accounting, girl. I ran away from accounting. How is that for you? How was varsity for you? How are you? How did you maneuver?
Yo. So I did commercial subjects in high school, and I did not like it then, but I don't know, passion. I loved accounting, and it just felt like the right thing to do. And somehow, at some point, I wanted to do medicine. So after matric, I was like, should I go for accounting or should I, But I went for it. I don't know. I just grew up loving accounting, and with that mindset, when you study accounting, you're gonna have your own business.
Yes,
and have money.
yes.
So I just loved it, and with the fact that it also gives you the opportunity to venture into your own personal things. Yeah, I did, but it was not easy. If I can show you my textbooks, it was not easy to a point that I'm not even ready to go for. I actually wanted to go for CASA, but then guys, I don't think I'm ready for that. But discipline, dedication, you can do it. I remember in my second year, I had friends, and they'll be like, "You're always at home. What are you doing at home? You don't want to go out. You're always studying. You're always giving excuses. Relationships as well failed because of accounting." So yeah, dedication. I knew what I wanted. So one thing that made me to be disciplined was that in my matric year, I had a lot of disturbances, and they kind of made me not to achieve what I had planned to achieve in matric, and that caused a lot of pain to me. That made me want to achieve the things that I did not achieve while I was in matric. So I sat down, I self-introspected, and I was like, the things that I was doing in matric, I definitely have to cut them going into the degree. Hence, I even stopped everything. Not that I stopped, but I put everything on hold, knowing that I was going to go into my degree. So dedication, focus, and pain will make you, but I feel like only if you listen to the pain and because there's some people that do mistakes but they don't learn from their pain, but for me that was a lesson. Not getting the things that I wanted in matric, the 7 distinctions that I wanted, really made me to say I did not get them then, but I'll make sure that I get distinctions into my degree. And that for me meant staying home, being focused. It was not an easy degree. It needed time, it needed focus, it needed attention, it needed effort. So yeah, discipline, dedication. I made it. 3 years later, got 12 distinctions. The distinctions that I wanted in matric, I've got them in my degree. And involving God, But like I said, prayer works, and God answers. He knows, He sees you. And I feel like especially when you're putting effort, that just puts fire into it. God does not forsake His kids. Yeah, He knew exactly what I wanted.
And you're mentioning a very important fact. One thing that I really advocate for is reflection. Like you did say that you when you got your result, you sat down and said, okay, this is not what I wanted, but what is it that I can do? Because if you had not if you had not reflected, you wouldn't have known where have you went wrong and how to improve from that. Because like you guys, being at university is not easy. And also another thing that I wanted to touch on is that we both went to the same high school, we both did the same subjects, we were taught by the same teachers. There's something that I've learned. When I was in high school, I was not the brightest kid. I was not the brightest kid. But when I got to university, things changed. I don't know if it's because I was hyper focused or there was just something in our high school, or let me not say our high school, but in high school in general that
that was not emphasized.
Yes, because I did accounting in high school, and I think in my final I got 60 something, level 5 or something, or level 4, I don't remember. I didn't pass very well in my matric as well. And then when I get to university, I get a distinction in accounting, and I'm just like, is it the way our teachers taught us, or is it us? We just get to be hyper focused when we go to. What do you think? What's your take on that?
I think, based on the high school that we went to, or maybe even other high schools, I feel like accounting students are not given attention. Yeah, they were never career what. We never went on anything.
Camps,
we never went on trips. We never went on anything. And that for me, I still feel even today that had they taken us to those career trips, had they taken us to camps, we would have known certain things that wouldn't have impacted us badly. Now, for example, when you want to go for the CASA journey, there are certain people that applied when they were still in grade 10, some when they were still in grade 11, some in matric, but we were never told such things. And when you listen to them, they tell you that my high school teacher did this, or but to us, we never got such things. And it's okay. It's okay that we
Yeah.
never got them. But then I feel and wish that only if it was possible. Such things need to be taught while we're still in high school. Such
So
things,
there's still a
yeah,
gap.
there is. For me, I felt like we're not given attention. I wish they can do that now. Yeah, it's, and then going to university, I feel like growth as well. Growth makes us to get the results that we. Yeah, there's just something about high school and playing and being in your teen days and not really focusing. Yeah, I think there's just something about university. We grow. We outgrow the teenage stages. We now know what we want in life. I think that's why we.
Because I feel like now I need a rematch with Nets. I'm ready. I'm ready, but yeah, you've mentioned an important aspect that it's a mixture of like lack of exposure as well, and also us from our side being a little bit playful and not taking our teachers seriously, disrespecting all of those stuff, and also other learners who are not serious, disrupting lessons and all of that.
I also feel like if I can go back, I can do better. Yeah, because I've grown. I feel like university books as well give you that thing of, only if I was still in high school, I would have approached this in this way. And back then, it seemed like it was impossible to do things on your own because we knew that we're going to class every day. So now, I mean, like, we can do the rematch that you say, because you know that you are now able to study on your own. So I think like that, back in high school, we're just having that thing, we are still kids. Maybe we did not really know how much high school mattered and how it was going to impact us in the future. Yeah, I think we were still playful then. And now we know what we want.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a very important aspect. So we went through your university journey, we went through your high school journey. So now tell us a bit about where you are now and how's that?
Like I said, God throughout. So I graduated last year. We're in 2020. I nearly said this year. So it was a 3-year degree, and I finished in 2022 December. And God has been with me throughout the journey. I involved God before starting the degree, and I made sure that throughout the degree, I also involved Him, and He has carried me through. So I finished in 2022, and then 2023, Jan was home, Feb. God came through. Before I could even graduate, before I could even get my transcript, God came through. And I got a job offer in Cape Town.
Wow.
And
Cape Town girls.
Cape Town girls. And I was like, I said to myself, how? Because I've not even graduated. I remember telling them that I've not graduated yet. I don't have my transcript yet. And they were like, girl, email your school and tell them that you got this. You got a job offer. Let them send you the transcript. And yeah, it happened. I was interviewed on the 21st of Feb 2023, and same day I could tell that I got it. I could tell that I got it. And then on the 22nd, I got my offer letter.
Wow.
And emailed it to my school, told them that, hey, girl needs a transcript because she's about to fly. So I got my transcript, and in less than 3 days after the interview, I had to leave, and they were like, you're starting on the 1st of March. So I had to like prepare everything.
So in a week, everything.
Yeah, I flew to Cape Town and 1st of March 2023. That was my first day at work, and God really came through for me.
That's
before I could even graduate. God was like, you know what? I knew the plans I had for you. Yeah,
that's beautiful. And how has Cape Town been? I mean, it's a big city, and I know that you did go to university in like another city and stuff. But how is it having to transition from Kakapane to the big city life? Yeah, a place without beaches to having to go to the place with beaches, the windy, at least like a controlled temperature and all of that. Like,
I'm not really an outgoing person. I grew up not being an outgoing person, and I feel like I still have that in me. But Cape Town is beautiful. I love it. Don't ask me where have I been to Cape Town, because it is beautiful. It is beautiful, but quite expensive. Quite expensive. I don't like that about Cape Town. It's very expensive, but it's beautiful. I wouldn't mind being there permanently. It is beautiful. I love it, but the people are not really friendly. Hey?
Okay.
That's one thing that I struggled with. Sorry, Cape Town. But knowing how we grew up here, we greet people. People greet. I don't know. When I got there, you know, you greet someone and they don't greet back.
Yeah.
I really struggled with that,
Mm.
especially in the office, you know.
Mm.
I really struggled with that. You greet someone, they don't greet you back. They find you in the kitchen. You think because they find you there, they would greet, and they don't.
They don't.
And because you grew up with that thing, they taught you.
Yeah,
you
to greet
you will say,
everyone.
okay, even though this person found me here, but then she didn't greet. Let me greet back.
Yeah.
They will still not respond.
Mm.
And I was somehow told, yeah, that's how it is there. So I think
everyone is minding their own business.
That was a little bit difficult for me. But I had to adjust to it, you know. Yeah.
And I do get that, because here at home, even if like I'm not close to you, but I see you outside your house, I will even start a small conversation. Hey, let's
exactly.
Hey, or even like unnecessary conversation, but just to create that thing, or like, okay, we're talking. But in Cape Town, it's different. I do agree with that. People
for example, we have a wall and stuff. So let's say someone is passing and they can hear but they will say "Legai," even though they don't see you. Don't see, but down you can hear voices. You'll be like, "Oh, Legai, in Cape Town, there's no such. That's something that I really found difficult to adjust to, because we grew up knowing what we're being treated. Yeah,
and I can't even say it's a tribe thing, because it's just like everyone who grew up in Cape Town is like that. Yeah, so maybe it's a place thing. I don't know, because I also was like labeled as that girl who greets. I remember in my face, was like, one thing about time is that she will greet you, and for me, I was like, how is that standing out? Because it should be a norm that you greet.
And this thing of saying thank you when you're in the till, and you greet the cashier. When the cashier is done, you say thank you. In Cape Town, maybe it's the supermarket that I've been to, but you hardly get that. You hardly. But then here at home, it's a conversation. You find yourself having a conversation with the cashier. Yeah, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a barrier.
But Cape Town is very beautiful, guys. I love it. It's peaceful.
Yes.
And it's very convenient. I went to Clicks the other day. And I couldn't find what I was looking for.
And they will tell you it's a small Clicks.
And then I was like, if I was in Cape Town, I could have Clicks guys. And it's like the fact that they're close by. It makes it very convenient. Mine.
Yeah.
8 years and then we are both of the it's about an hour
drive. There's also no Ubers and all of that. So yeah, it's not.
Oh, I heard. Do you want an Uber in town these days?
In town, not here. So one thing I love about home though is that I save money, guys. There's no Uber Eats. There's no like if I'm hungry and there's food, I have to force myself to cook, because at Cape Town, Uber Eats, and then Jiggy, there's no man.
I work opposite to the mall. There's like everything.
So you even go to the mall even though you don't need anything, and it's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, but home you save a lot of money, because you don't do impulsive buying, as things are so far.
You think first before you can.
Yes. I mean, you have to shower, you have to get in. For me, I have to get in a taxi, like. No, I ain't doing that. So also, how's the language barrier in Cape Town? Like, yes.
So, I think the first day when I got to work and I was being introduced, Lebo. Second day, Lebogang. So the Lebogang, the gang, they say it's gang. Imagine Lebogang. I was like, oh no, guys, rather call me Lebo. It's fine.
Yes, that's worse.
Rather call me Lebo. It's fine. I don't love learning other people's languages. People. I guess it's an advantage to us who are willing to learn. So
because I once went to this other place in Cape Town at Waterfront, and the other lady was asking me something, and I responded in English, because I have that thing where like I'll respond in English, because if I attempt to respond in Xhosa, then they will be like, what's your accent? Why is your accent like that? So I responded in English, and that lady kept on speaking Xhosa, and then I'm like, no, I don't speak Xhosa. And then she's like, she keeps on talking, because I'm like, I told myself that I'm not good, as much as I hear what she's saying, I'm not going to respond. I'm gonna keep on saying that just for inclusivity, And she ended up like, I come to us. Then I'm like, cool. And then I just took my things and left. And I was just like, I was not gonna answer, because I heard what she was asking, but it was not an important thing. To like,
it kind of feels like they think or assume for everyone who is in Cape Town speaks
Yes,
Xhosa.
especially when you have our skin, when you're dark skinned and stuff, they're like, okay, everyone speaks Xhosa. And then when you try to greet in Xhosa and then they communicate in Xhosa, and then you're like, no, I'm not Xhosa. Like, why did you greet in Xhosa? But if you greet in English, they're like, hi, they wouldn't even want to. Yeah, they wouldn't even want to converse just because you're speaking English, and I'm just like, that has been a thing for me, and that's one of the things that actually discouraged me from learning Xhosa, because like, why would I stretch my hand for people who don't want to stretch? Yeah, but I'm grateful for my group of friends now because they are learning, and that makes it interesting. But yeah, that's the biggest barrier for me. Language. Language.
It is.
So yeah, like
it's a bad thing. I feel like it's a bad thing not to want to learn, but it's a good thing to us because they make us learn. And yeah.
So yeah, now what can you say is, just wrapping up your journey, what is it that you can say about, I don't have a specific question, but what is it just that you can put out there about your journey from as a young person up to where you are now?
God is faithful, and God comes through. He is I don't know guys, but God for me is he really came through for me. And what I can say is, there's a saying that says it doesn't matter how many times you fall, but what matters is how many times you get up and you still try again. I can't say life has not been easy because I'm still young, but then I came across challenges that made me to sometimes feel like I could have given up, but then I didn't, because God was there and I involved God in everything. Got to know that certain things happen for a reason, and got to know that if there's a saying, if you are bamudimu ba testiwa, there are certain challenges that come to test you. There are certain challenges that many a times where people pray and say, God, I'm praying for money, but you're failing to handle the little one that you have, So sometimes God brings challenges to test you, or if I give you this thing that you're asking, will you be able to handle that? So it has not been easy, but having God in my life made it easy. And I think I'm proud of myself. I think I should say that. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of not having given up. People will always talk. You do this, people will talk. You do good, they'll find the bad thing, the good thing that you do. People will always talk. I've learned to be in a position where I do me and I go for what I want. Many a times where people say it's not a good thing to write down what is it that you want, but it is good. It is a good thing to write down what you want. If you're good with memory, you can write it down in your mind, and so that you can be able to tick it off. And yeah, God has been amazing. God has been amazing. Me telling him what is it that I want and showing focus and dedication. Like I told you, if you don't put effort into it, there's nothing that will ever happen if you don't show signs of wanting it to happen in your life. God has been there. I self-introspected and I worked on my mistakes. So what I can say is, truly, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, but what matters is how many times you still get up and try. Me not getting the results that I wanted in matric did not stop me from being the girl that I am right now. This also goes out to matriculants who will be receiving results soon. Work it out, sort it out, work on it, fix it. You can still do it. I almost thought that I'll never be where I am right now. There are certain mistakes and challenges that when you go through them, you will think you'll never see the future. You will think that you'll never get to get an opportunity to drive a car. I thought so as well. I actually thought I would never work. I actually thought I would never have a degree. I never thought I would get the distinctions that I got. I never thought I could be where I am right now. But I fixed. I looked at my mistakes and I fixed. Fix it. Involve God in it. Let God know what is it that you want. And change is something that your mom can tell you to change. Someone else can advise you to change. But if it doesn't come from within, you'll never change.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen people, they keep on repeating the same mistakes? And you're asking yourself, Mucho, last week we like I say them with the thing pause. And the fact that I change.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen people like that?
Yeah, I've seen people like that.
If you tell them 1,000 times what you're doing is wrong, but because that thing I see there within, you got to change. So I made it a personal decision. Looked at my mistakes, I fixed them. it's life, man. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that I achieved a lot in terms of charity, being on the media, being on newspapers, people kind of think, oh, there's no challenges.
Yeah,
there.
you have it
we
easy.
all go through challenges. Yeah, but what matters is how many times you try. It's not every plan that you have that will work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not every plan that you plan or it should happen in 2023 or in 2024 or eventually happen in that year. But keep on trying. And it's also important to understand God's will as well. You know, we tend to want things to happen the way that we want, forgetting what God is the person that plans our life. God is the one who is in charge of everything. You might want something now, but what does God say? I remember when I got to Cape Town, I think the first 3 months I was happy, I was excited, getting to learn new things and stuff, because during my degree I was like, are the things that I'm studying going to be the things that I'll be working with? I had that thing. So when I got the job, I was very excited. Okay, those things that I was studying, I can see them now. And then after the first 3 months, I started panicking. I was like, I want to go home, you know. I really want to go home. Cape Town is far. It became a serious thing. I kind of felt I'm even losing focus. You know?
Yeah.
And then I kept on applying. I was applying almost every day. Almost every day. But then got to a point where I was like, you know what, Lebo, I see you're doing this, but then what does God want?
Yeah.
You know, what does God want about my life? I can now, my wish can be original go move to Cape Town, it's God's time for me to move now. It's God who took me to
your purpose.
Exactly. I forgot that it's God who took me to Cape Town. Now I want to move back on my own. And yeah, I got to learn, you know, it's very important to also take note of God's time and His will in your life. If God wants you to move, you'll move without any struggle. You'll move without any application. So you way, you know, it's God's move. So I'm not saying don't try or don't have plans, but in the plans that you make, God also has to take a will in those plans that you have. So never give up. Keep on trying. Challenges will be there. You will fall, but rise up.
Yes,
it's very important.
Yes.
So yeah.
So that was very mouthful. I can say that I don't even have anything to add on to that, because I feel like you've said it like in a very brief and good way, and I fully agree with that. Now, just ending the conversation here, just like some few questions just to end.
Okay.
What is I wanted to say what is a quote you live by, but I want to put it in a way. What is your motto in life? You know how they do it in modeling. What is your motto in life?
I think I've always lived with my mom's words. It's down to her, but up to me.
Yeah.
So everything you can decide down, everything that I plan in life, think twice. Twice, because if it has consequences, you're gonna come back home and say this happened. And if it's something that you went for, knowing that it has consequences, don't lose it. So I've always lived by that. I've always lived by knowing what the decisions that I make. It's not wrong to make wrong decisions.
Yeah.
We learn from them, but then think about them first. You know, don't just make wrong decisions. This is a wrong decision. Rather go for something you fail, but then if you went for it.
I'm right. Yeah.
So, I live by that, and the Bible motto that I live is, I know the plans that I have for you, Jeremiah 29 verse 11.
Yeah.
In everything that I do, I know that
His plans
will not harm me. In everything that I start, I know I know that's God's plan in my life, and it will happen. And I fear nothing.
Yes.
If God is for me, who can be against me? He is my light and my salvation. So
that is lovely.
I think for me, God first in everything that I do. That is how I live.
Okay. That is awesome. I really loved having this conversation with you. I feel like I've learned to know you more, and I really love what you're doing. I really love what you are for, and you have amazing things coming your way as well. Like there's still more. Up until you leave this earth, you have a purpose, and you're like to serve others as well, and not just to serve God, but to serve others as well. And I love that for you, and I hope that my subscribers and everyone who's watching this video love that. And guys, I hope you are motivated to also like learn from your mistakes, learn from your failures, and just take whatever that comes to you as a sign to like move forward. It's like, if I can do this, if God says I can do this, then I can definitely do it. just involve God in everything. Don't
True.
give up on your dreams. And don't forget that His will over our personal will, obedience as well. Yeah, I feel like that's it. Is there anything you want to add?
It doesn't matter at what age you start. You can be old, you can be young, you start. I started everything when I was 15, and yeah, it doesn't matter when you start, just start it. If it's a business idea you have, it's 2024. I saw a post somewhere saying New Year is started on a Monday, which means this year we're being serious.
We're being serious.
So everything that you couldn't achieve in 2023, let's achieve it this year. God has got us, and let's do it. Let's do it.
Don't forget to write down those visions and those goals and pray over them, and not achieving them at the end of the year doesn't mean that you're a failure or that God doesn't see you. It's just not time yet for you to achieve those things, but never lose hope. And yeah, that's it from this episode, guys. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. And comment. And don't forget to follow Lebo on Instagram at Lebogang Mashile. And yeah, that's it, guys. See you next time on the next episode. Bye.